Not every castle is made of gold, and not every prince wants to save you. Some just want to slowly destroy you. She was certain she was moving up in life, but little did she know she was walking straight into the abyss. It all started with a look of disdain. She looked at him the way someone looks at an old shoe forgotten in a dirty alley. He, her boyfriend of many years, the man who shared hard nights and tight dreams, a simple worker with callous hands and an honest heart. But to her, that was no longer enough. "You're stagnant. You'll never give me the life I deserve," she said coldly, expensive lipstick on her lips and indifference in her eyes. He didn't reply. He just looked like someone watching a dream die, or seeing the true face of someone who had pretended for too long. It was at a fancy cocktail party hosted by a coworker that she met the other man, an older man, wrapped in luxury, speaking of private jets and exclusive parties as if they were routine. The kind of man who wore watches worth more than a year's salary. She was mesmerized, and when he extended his hand, she took it and let go of everything that kept her grounded. She ended her relationship with a simple boyfriend over a text message. Short, blunt, cruel. "I found someone on my level. Good luck with your mediocre little life." He didn't reply. He just read it and took a deep breath, like someone closing a book they already knew the ending to. She moved into the penthouse of the new boyfriend in less than a week, posted photos with captions like, "Finally living the life I deserve." It seemed like she had won the world, but what she didn't know is that the world that shines too bright often hides thorns. The first days were perfect. Champagne for breakfast, gifts from brands she only knew from store windows, dinners at places where a single plate cost more than a month's rent. She felt on top of the world and laughed loudly, especially when thinking of her ex. Right now, he's probably waiting for the bus, pathetic. But the smiles began to fade quickly. The rich man was charming in public, but cold in private, controlling. He spoke to her like she was an employee, demanded clothes, schedules, silence. "You want to stay here? Then learn to obey," he said one night. She laughed, thinking it was a joke. He didn't laugh back. The following week, she tried going out with a friend. He forbid it. Tried posting a photo without makeup. He told her to delete it. Tried asking about their future. He looked at her with boredom and said, "You're here because you entertain me, not because you matter." And that's when the bubble burst. Paradise turned into a prison. Golden but cold. Luxurious but empty. She thought about going back, about reaching out to her ex. But pride screamed louder. "He must be suffering without me. I was everything to him." So she kept pretending, posting fake smiles, living on a stage for an audience fueled by envy, while behind the scenes, she drowned in loneliness until the final blow came. On a gray morning, like a warning of tragedy, she woke up to loud knocks on the door. It was the building manager, with a paper in hand, and 2 security guards behind him. "Sorry, miss, but the contract is no longer in your name. The owner requested your immediate removal." She called the rich man desperate. The call went straight to voicemail, and it was there, in the marble hallway, with her bags in hand and her makeup smeared, that she understood. She hadn't been promoted to a new level. She had been used as an accessory, a disposable object, and now she was alone, homeless, prideless, loveless. But this story doesn't end here, because while she was drowning in despair, the man she left behind was rising in silence. And what he did will surprise you. But before revealing that unexpected ending, let me ask you, have you ever been replaced by someone who seemed better? Ever felt invisible while someone else got the credit for everything? If yes, then stay with me, because the second part of this story will show you that sometimes the best revenge is success in silence. The city was the same, but everything felt different. She walked the streets like a shadow of who she once was. The expensive clothes were sold, the luxury lipstick replaced by silent tears, and that look of superiority she once had was now just emptiness. She tried contacting her ex, sent messages, called, begged, but he didn't answer. What she didn't know was that he had changed too, far more than she could imagine. While she sank in the lies of the rich man, he had focused, worked in silence, pulled all-nighters, took chances that once seemed risky, and with the help of an old friend, opened his own small business. He started with small sales, but over time it grew, and with growth came the rewards. A new house, a new car, new dreams. But what didn't change was his heart, still beating strong, but now with wisdom. He was no longer the same man. He was stronger, more centered, colder. It was at a business event where they met again. She, working as a temporary receptionist. He, the special guest, keynote speaker tonight. She froze when she saw him. He just smiled politely. "Carlos?" she whispered, like summoning a ghost. He looked at her for a moment, then calmly replied, "Good evening. I need to head to the stage." She tried to follow him, but was stopped by the event staff. Later, as he was leaving, she caught up to him in the parking lot. "You look amazing. I regret everything." "Regret what?" he asked, turning to her. "Leaving you. I thought you'd never move forward. I thought you were weak." He laughed, not out of arrogance, but relief. "You didn't leave me for someone else. You freed me from you. Thank you for that." She tried to explain, to cry, to touch his hand, but he got in the car. Before closing the door, he said something that echoed inside her for a long time. "Good luck with your new beginning. I've already started mine." And then he left. She stood there, alone, among luxury cars that weren't hers, missing a love she herself had destroyed, and finally understanding that not all that glitters is gold, and not all that's simple is weak. Sometimes, losing someone is just the beginning of a fall. She thought she was climbing in life, but in truth, she had only fallen from illusion. And him? He became everything she said he'd never be. But not for her, for himself. Because the best revenge is not needing revenge at all. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Maybe someone who was left behind, or someone who believes love can be bought. Subscribe to the channel for more stories like this. And remember, someone who truly loves you won't trade you for a stage. They'll build with you, even from the ground up. Until next time,